nails like that, about £4, £5, something like that. They haven't got to be the best on the market. And these go from about 2 or 3 millimetres, about 1/8 of an inch, just under, up to about 10 millimetres, which is just under 1/2 inch, or 3/8 of an inch in old money. Need a couple of hammers. That one's mainly for outside, in the garden, on site. Big old claw hammer, pulling nails out. You've probably all got one of them. Bit heavy for in the workshop. You know, you don't want to go crashing around with one of these things. Nice little workshop hammer. It's pointed like that, so you won't be doing this, but I'll show you what it's for. If you had a nice little panel pin like that, a little weeny panel pin like that, which is about 1/2 inch long, you hold it like that. If you were to use that side of the hammer, what are you going to do? You're probably going to bang your finger and thumb. So you turn it over. Just takes a bit of getting used to, but basically you're banging between your finger and thumb. You probably won't be using that, but I'm telling you what it's for. So that's for banging the nails in, that's for banging little pins in, so you don't bang your thumb. And you will bang your thumb, and it won't be fun, I'll tell you. Right, while we're on nails, not many people seen these, not many people use these, but you can still buy them, called a pin pusher. Let's get back to our little pins. Our little pins, we want to bang in that bit of wood. I won't use that bit of wood, I'll use a shorter bit of wood, because I'm going to use that later on to explain planing and sawing. Let's put a little bit of wood in the vise, nice and tight, so it don't move about. Kids like playing with vices and all, but be careful, don't let them put their fingers in them. Get your little pin, what we spoke about before. You don't want to bang your thumb, you're not used to using it that, get a pin pusher. These are the nuts, these are, I'll tell you. Little pin, put it in the tube in the end, let it drop down, magnetic, put it in the wood, little push, take it away. Look what's happened, I've got the pin started in the hole. Now all you've got to do now, get your finger and thumb out of the way, is bang it home. Gets better, gets much better. If you're feeling strong, get the pin, put it in the pin pusher, magnetic as I told you, put it on the wood, a little bit more force, pin's already in, you know, the pin's already in. Didn't have to use the hammer. Now you can't use that on all wood. Some wood's hardwood and you can't use it. This is softwood. This is called, it's a pine. Used to be called deal in the old days. D-E-A-L. Do you know why it was called deal? Because Deal was the biggest port in the south of England importing timber. And it came into Deal, near Dover in Kent. That's why it was called Deal. Funny old game, isn't it? Right, let's talk about some longer pins. These are 1.5 inch pins. I use these a lot. These are coated, they're called Sherrodized. They've got a grey finish on them. They don't go rusty. They're a nice pin to use. You don't need the pin pusher for this. I nearly picked up the big hammer then, didn't I? Let's get back to our hammer. I said hammer then, I normally say hammer. But my missus goes mad, I told you that before. I'm not allowed to say hammer, I have to say hammer. But let's be fair, an hammer's an hammer. Get your nail, you're not going to bang your fingers this time because it's big. You're ready to go, bang the nail in. Now, we all bend nails, I do, I've done it for 50 years. 9 times out of 10, the reason you bend a nail is because the top of your hammer's dirty. Keep your hammer head clean. Get a bit of glass paper, down on the bench. Clean the head of your hammer. It might have a bit of muck on it, a bit of glue. That's why 9 times out of 10 you bend the nail. Well, unless you ain't very good at it and you miss it, that's another reason. Excuse me. Okay, we've got our nail started. Let's pretend we bent it. Oh God, I bent me nail. What am I going to do now? Well, I'm not going to be able to bang it in, so it's got to come out. That's where these come in. Pair of pinchers. If you was in the garden, you've got that. You can hook that in the nail and pull it out. In the workshop we use a pair of pinchers. But we don't, I'll tell you what we don't do. We don't put it on the nail like that and then lever it and pull it out. Because what's that do? It damages the bit of wood underneath these. Not so much now today because I'm using an old off-cut of wood and showing you how to do it. But if we was doing a nice bit of finished work, a bit of hardwood or something that was painted or polished and you didn't want to damage it, you know, if you was working indoors putting an architrave on or something, you bang the pin and you bend it. You don't want to go like that and damage the architrave. So what do? We get a bit of wood. Put a bit of wood behind the nail so that these pinchers rock on the wood. Get hold of the nail then and lever it out like that. So you lever it out on the wood. Then you don't damage your material you're working with. If you ain't got a bit of wood handy, get a bit of glass paper. Fold it rough side to rough side so it's smooth outside like that. Put that on the wood. Put that on the wood. Pull your pin out like that. Pinchers are running on the smooth bit of the glass paper, not damaging the wood underneath. Silly little tips, I know. Some of you are probably laughing. I hope not, because I've learnt all these things, and before I pop my clogs I want to pass it on. I think there's loads of things I do that other chippies don't do. There's probably loads of things they do that I don't do. But it's my little way, my little bit of fun. And if I can teach some kids to do something and do it properly and make something along the way, well, I think I've done my bit really. Anyway, enough of all that cobblers. Right, what we got? We've got a marking gauge. Don't have to have one of these, but they're a good bit of kit. Get these cheap again. Get these at car boots all the time. Car boot, you'd probably get an old one for about £1. All that is a sliding rod like that, a sliding pad like that with a rod in the middle with a nail sticking out. It's not a nail, it's a pin. Let's say we wanted to do a nice straight line. Let's get our big bit of wood back in. Let's say we wanted to mark the centre of the bit of this. Let's take that nail out. I'll do it properly. Let's say we wanted a nice pencil line all the way along the middle of that. Now most of you carpenters would say, well, it's easy enough. Go like that with a pencil. You know, it's done. You beginners can't do that. You've only got to hold your finger the distance from the top of your finger to the pencil, and you can do that. And with time it'll come. But if you want a nice accurate mark that you can do time after time after time, let's say you want it 1/2 inch or 12mm. Set it for 1/2 inch or 12mm. Do up the nut, do it up tight so it don't move. 2 hands. Most old carpenters do 1 hand, like that. Put their thumb on there, just run it along the wood. At about 45 degrees, run it along the wood like that. And what you're doing is, you've only got to do it once, I'm doing it 10 times to show you. And every bit of wood that you're working with, it might be a joint, it might be an halving joint, or it might be a mortise and tenon. We'll come on to them. It's getting a little bit more technical then, but we'll do some joints later on. Well later on. So, got our mark, you can do the same mark 100 times and it'll always be the same. Once you've gone like that, you can then get your pencil, nice and sharp, put it in the groove you've just done, run it along the groove. Perfect, got a pencil mark, 1/2 inch, all the way along the wood. you can also go across the end. I'll try it. I'll show you how to do it like this, but it's better off in the vise. All it's doing, yeah. Half inch from the end, you've got a nice scribe. Right, what else we've got to show you?